Get your hands off her!" The words ripped out of Ryan before he could think. The store manager's fingers wrapped around the wheelchair, ready to yank her backward like trash. Ryan's daughter Daisy squeezed his hand. Her 8-year-old eyes went wide. But Ryan couldn't stop. Not when his gut screamed this was wrong. He didn't know this one decision would pull him into the world of a billionaire, a world that could destroy him, or save everything. Hit that subscribe button right now, ring the bell, and comment your city below so I can see how far this story reaches. Now let's dive into that November afternoon that changed everything. She stole from me. 4 words. Jerry Morrison said them loud enough for the whole store to hear. Ryan Walker froze in aisle 7. He'd only come in for milk and bread. Daisy had school tomorrow. They were running low. Simple errand. But now his stomach dropped. The woman in the wheelchair sat near checkout, hands folded in her lap. Calm, gray sweater, jeans, dark hair pulled back, maybe mid-30s, pretty, and completely still while Jerry Morrison stood over her like she was dirt. "I didn't take anything." Her voice stayed level, strong. "Check my bag." "Oh, I'll check it." Jerry leaned in. Thick guy, red face, hands like hammers. He'd run Morrison's grocery 30 years and treated people however he wanted. "Saw you slip something in there. Don't play games with me." "Daddy." Daisy's whisper cut through the noise. "What's happening?" "I don't know, baby." But he did know. Someone with power. Someone without. Same ugly pattern Ryan had seen his whole life. The woman lifted a canvas bag from her lap, held it out. "Here. Look." Jerry grabbed it, dumped everything on the counter, wallet, keys, paperback book, chapstick, tissues. That's all. "Where is it?" Jerry's face went redder. "Where's what?" "The lipstick. Expensive one from aisle 3. Saw you looking." "Looking isn't taking. Don't get smart. Get." Jerry's hand reached for the wheelchair. Ryan moved. "Don't touch her chair." The words came out hard. Ryan wasn't big, 5'10", lean from construction work and skipping lunch. But something in his voice stopped Jerry cold. "This isn't your business." Jerry turned those mean little eyes on Ryan. "You're accusing someone in front of the whole store. That's everyone's business." "You defending a thief?" "I'm defending someone getting treated like garbage before you have proof." Jerry's neck went purple. "I know what I saw." "Then call the cops. Let them sort it. But you don't get to humiliate her." The woman looked up. Hazel eyes, tired but fierce. She shook her head slightly. Like this wasn't worth it. Like she'd been here before. But Ryan couldn't walk away. Not with Daisy watching. Not with his wife Sarah's voice in his head. Do something or do nothing. There's no middle. "Check your security cameras," Ryan said. "You've got them everywhere. Check aisle 3. Something flickered across Jerry's face. Uncertainty. Then anger rushed back. Takes time to review footage. Then take the time. But treat her human until you do. Maybe you should mind your business before I ban you. Maybe your store isn't worth shopping at." Daisy gasped. Ryan felt it too. Morrison's was the only grocery within 3 miles. Next one was 20 minutes away. His truck was dying. They couldn't afford a ban. Could barely afford groceries. But backing down now felt worse. The woman spoke again, louder this time. Everyone heard. "My name is Hannah. Hannah Brewster. I came for coffee and bread. I looked at lipstick because colors were pretty. I didn't take anything. I don't steal. Never have. You want to search me? Call a female officer. Do it right. But touch my chair without permission, and I file assault charges." Authority rang through every word. Not begging, drawing a line. Jerry stepped back. Just enough. "Get out of my store." "Gladly." Hannah spun her chair around. Smooth, practiced, strong arms on the wheels. She headed for the door. Ryan followed, didn't think, grabbed Daisy's hand, left his basket, walked out into November cold. Wait. Hannah stopped on the sidewalk, turned her chair. Up close, Ryan saw the exhaustion around her eyes, the set of her jaw that said she'd fought this battle too many times. Thank you, but you didn't have to do that. You just made your life harder. Worth it. Is she okay? Daisy peeked around Ryan's legs. Hannah's whole face softened. I'm okay, sweetheart, just a misunderstanding. He was mean. Some people are mean, but some are kind, like your dad. Ryan's ears burned. I'm Ryan. This is Daisy. Hannah. She paused. Listen, I appreciate this, but go back. You need groceries. Not from him. There's nowhere else close. Price Chopper on Madison. 20 minutes. We'll manage. Hannah studied him, then smiled. Really smiled. You're either brave or stupid. Probably both. She laughed. Bright and unexpected. Thank you, Ryan and Daisy, for being both. She wheeled to a silver sedan, transferred herself smoothly, chair folded into the back seat, then gone, pulling away down the street. Daddy, Daisy's small voice. Are we banned? Maybe. Where will we get groceries? We'll figure it out. Sarah would have been proud. That thought carried him through the week. Through the long drive to Price Chopper burning gas they couldn't spare. Through Daisy's endless questions. Through his own doubts. 7 days later, Ryan saw Hannah again. Price Chopper. Pharmacy section. She stretched toward a high shelf where heating pads sat out of reach. Fingertips brushed the box. Almost. Not quite. Need help? Hannah turned. Recognition flashed. Ryan, hi. Hi. Suddenly awkward. Can I grab that, please? Whoever stocks these doesn't think about wheelchairs. Ryan handed her the heating pad. Back problems. Everything problems. Comes with the territory. Can I ask what happened? You don't have to tell me. Car accident 4 years ago. Kid on a bike. Rainy night. Came out of nowhere. I swerved. Hit a pole. Kid was fine. I wasn't. God, I'm sorry. Don't be. The kid lived. That matters. Daisy appeared skipping with cereal. Daddy, can we get marshmallow ones, Miss Hannah? Hi, sweetheart. Again that warmth. Good cereal choice. The best, with marshmallows. Marshmallows make everything better. Scientific fact. Daisy giggled. That's not science. Sure it is. Fun science. Ryan watched them talk. Daisy had been so quiet since Sarah died. Careful, withdrawn. But here she was. Animated. Bright. Talking about cereal with someone they'd met once. Hey. Hannah looked up at Ryan. I know this is forward, but I used to teach high school English before the accident. I heard Daisy mention reading trouble. Yeah, she's behind. School says it's normal. Just needs practice. But I'm not great at helping. Barely graduated myself. What if I tutored her once a week? No charge. I miss teaching. She's a sweet kid. Ryan blinked. You don't have to. I want to. I'm bored. And you stood up for me. Let me do something for you. I don't know. Too easy. Had to be a catch. Think about it. She pulled a pen from her purse, wrote on her receipt, handed it over. My cell. Text if you want to try. No pressure. She wheeled away. Left Ryan standing there with a phone number and Daisy tugging his sleeve. Can we, Daddy? Can Miss Hannah teach me? Maybe. We'll see. But he knew he'd call. Knew it when Daisy's face lit up. The apartment was so quiet. Just them and the TV. Having someone else around even an hour a week might help. He texted that night. Let's try it. Her reply came fast. Great. Saturday afternoons. Your place? Our place is small, but it's fine. Perfect. See you Saturday at 2. Ryan stared at his ceiling. The apartment was barely 1,000 square feet. 2 bedrooms, cramped kitchen, living room that served triple duty. All he could afford on construction wages, especially after Sarah's medical bills. What would Hannah think when she saw how they lived? But Saturday came. Hannah knocked at exactly 2, wheeled in, looked around. This is cozy. I like it. Daisy rushed forward with school books. I brought everything. Perfect. Let's see what we're working with. Ryan made coffee in the kitchen, but he listened. Hannah's patient voice explaining phonics. Daisy's hesitant attempts. The encouragement. The laughter when frustration hit, and Hannah cracked a joke. By the end, Daisy read a full paragraph. Slowly. Carefully. But reading. You did amazing. Next week we'll go further. You'll come back. Of course. We're just starting. After Hannah left, Daisy talked nonstop. How nice Miss Hannah was. How she explained things that made sense. How she didn't make Daisy feel dumb like the kids at school did. That night, tucking Daisy in, Ryan felt something he hadn't felt in 2 years. Hope. The next Saturday came. And the next. Hannah arrived at 2. Worked with Daisy, then stayed for coffee. They talked. Ryan learned Hannah had taught 8 years before the accident. Loved it. Tried to go back, but the school couldn't accommodate her. So she'd been on disability since. Don't you get bored? Ryan asked one afternoon. Desperately. This helps. Teaching Daisy makes me feel useful. You are useful. Look at her. Reading full chapters now. She's smart. Just needed focused attention. By late December, something shifted. Ryan caught himself thinking about Hannah during the week. Wondering what she was doing. Hoping she was okay. But he couldn't say anything. Hannah was educated. He was construction. She'd been a teacher. He barely graduated. The gap felt impossible to cross. Then came the week everything changed. Monday, Ryan picked Daisy up from school. She had a black eye. What happened? Nothing. Daisy stared at her shoes. Daisy. Kids at school. They said we're poor. Said Miss Hannah probably feels sorry for us. Said that's why she comes. Ryan's chest tightened. What did you do? I pushed Emma. Then she pushed me. Then I fell. Baby, you can't hit people. She said mean things about you. Ryan knelt down. Hugged her. People will always say mean things. Doesn't make them true. That Saturday, Daisy was quiet during the lesson. Hannah noticed immediately. What's wrong, sweetie? Daisy told her. About Emma. About the comments. About feeling embarrassed that their apartment was small and they couldn't afford things. Hannah was quiet for a long moment. Then she spoke. Want to know a secret? Daisy nodded. Some of the richest people I've ever known were the most miserable. And some of the happiest people had almost nothing. Money doesn't make you valuable. Your heart does. Your kindness does. The way you treat people does. Emma doesn't understand that yet. Maybe she will someday, but you already do. Really. Really. And if anyone says your dad isn't amazing, they're blind. He works hard. He loves you. He stood up for a stranger when no one else would. That's worth more than all the money in the world. Daisy hugged her. Ryan, listening from the kitchen, felt his eyes burn. After Daisy went to play, Hannah turned to Ryan. She okay? She will be, thanks to you. Kids are cruel sometimes. They don't know better. Ryan noticed something then. The way Hannah's hands shook slightly. The tightness around her mouth. You okay? I'm fine. You're a bad liar. Hannah laughed. Hollow. Fair. She paused. Can I ask you something? Anything. If you found out someone had been lying to you, not about anything bad, but about who they were, would you be angry? Ryan frowned. Depends why they lied. What if they lied because they wanted to be treated normal, not special or different or pitied? Then I'd understand. Everyone wants to be seen for who they are, not what they have. Hannah nodded slowly. That's what I thought. That's why I like you, Ryan. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at it. Her face went white. I have to go. She stood abruptly, nearly knocked over her coffee. I'm sorry. Family emergency. What's wrong? Can I help? No, I just need to go. I'll call you. She was out the door before Ryan could respond. He watched from the window as she transferred to her car. Her hands were shaking worse now. She sat in the driver's seat for a full minute before pulling away. That was Wednesday. Thursday. No word. Friday. Ryan called. Voicemail. Saturday. No show. Daisy cried. Ryan had no answers. Sunday night, Ryan's phone rang. Unknown number. Hello. Is this Ryan Walker? Male voice. Deep. Commanding. Yeah. Who's this? My name is Richard Brewster. I believe you know my daughter Hannah. Ryan's hand tightened on the phone. Is she okay? She's fine, physically, but we need to talk. About you. About your relationship with my daughter. Relationship? We're friends. She tutors my kid. Mr. Walker, I'm a man who values directness, so I'll be direct. I'm worth $3 billion. My daughter walked away from that life 4 years ago, disappeared, changed her number, lived like she had nothing. And now I find her spending time in your home, teaching your child, getting attached. I need to know what kind of man you are. Ryan's mind reeled. 3 billion. Hannah? Rich? No. Wealthy. Beyond wealthy. I don't know what you want me to say. I want to meet you, face to face, tomorrow. Your address is 412 Oak Street, apartment 3B. I'll be there at noon. How do you know where I live? I know everything, Mr. Walker. That's what money buys. Information. I know you're a construction worker, widower. Your wife Sarah died of cancer 2 years ago. You're $6,000 in debt. Your truck needs a new transmission. And you shop at Price Chopper because Jerry Morrison banned you from his store for defending my daughter. A pause. That last part is why I'm willing to meet you instead of just making you go away. Making me go away? Money can do that too. But Hannah spoke highly of you, so I'll give you a chance to prove you're not using her. Using her? I didn't even know she had money. Exactly what someone using her would say. The line went dead. Ryan stood frozen in his kitchen. The walls felt like they were closing in. Hannah was rich. Her father was calling, coming here. Tomorrow. This couldn't be real. His phone buzzed. Text from Hannah. Ryan, I'm so sorry. I wanted to tell you. I should have told you. My father found me. He's coming to see you. Please don't hate me. I never lied about who I am. Just what I have. Please. Ryan sank into a chair. Read the text again. Again. Then he replied. I could never hate you. See you tomorrow. Because whatever was coming, whatever this meant, Hannah was still Hannah. The woman who taught his daughter, who drank bad coffee and laughed at Daisy's jokes and stood up to Jerry Morrison with more dignity than anyone he'd ever seen. Money didn't change that. Did it? That night, Ryan cleaned the apartment, top to bottom, fixed the dripping faucet he'd been ignoring, tried to make the water stain on the ceiling less obvious. Failed. At 11:59 the next morning, he stood at the window, watching. At exactly noon, a black Mercedes pulled up. Not a regular Mercedes. The kind Ryan had only seen in movies. The kind that cost more than he'd make in 5 years. The driver got out first, opened the back door, and Richard Brewster stepped onto Oak Street. Tall, gray hair, suit that probably cost more than Ryan's entire wardrobe. But it was the way he moved that struck Ryan, like he owned the air itself. Behind him, a second car pulled up. Hannah's silver sedan. She got out, transferred to her wheelchair. Her eyes found Ryan's window. Even from here, he saw the fear on her face. Richard Brewster looked up, made eye contact with Ryan through the glass. Then he walked toward the building entrance. Ryan took a breath, opened the door, and waited for his world to either fall apart or somehow impossibly come together. Richard Brewster's footsteps echoed in the stairwell. 3 floors up. Ryan counted each one. Beside him, Daisy clutched his hand. "Daddy, who's coming?" "Miss Hannah's father." "Is he nice?" Ryan didn't know how to answer that. The knock came. 3 sharp raps. Precise. Controlled. Ryan opened the door. Richard Brewster filled the doorway. Not physically, he wasn't particularly large, but his presence took up all the oxygen. Sharp eyes swept the apartment in 2 seconds. Cataloging. Judging. The worn couch. The scratched coffee table. The crayon drawings on the fridge. "Mr. Walker." "Mr. Brewster." They shook hands. Richard's grip was firm. Testing. Ryan squeezed back. Not competing, just showing he wouldn't be intimidated. Hannah wheeled up behind her father. "Dad, please." "Please what, Hannah?" "Be polite, I'm being perfectly polite." Richard stepped inside without being invited. "This is your home, Mr. Walker. For 2 years now." "Cozy." The word landed like an insult wrapped in politeness. Ryan felt his jaw tighten. "It's what we can afford." "Of course." Richard's eyes landed on Daisy. His expression softened. Barely. And this must be Daisy. Daisy hid behind Ryan's leg. "Hi." "Hello. Your father tells me you're quite the reader now." "Miss Hannah taught me." "Did she?" Not a question. Richard looked at Hannah. Something passed between them. Old argument. Old wound. Then back to Ryan. "Mr. Walker, I'd like to speak with you. Privately." "Dad, don't do this." "Do what?" "Have a conversation. I'm simply getting to know the man my daughter has been spending time with." Richard's voice stayed level. Reasonable. Which somehow made it worse. "Unless there's a reason you don't want us to talk, Hannah." Hannah's hands gripped her wheelchair. "You promised you'd give him a chance." "I am. That's why I'm here." Richard turned to Ryan. "Well?" Ryan looked at Hannah. She nodded, barely. "Daisy, go to your room and play. Take Miss Hannah with you." "But Daddy—" "Now, baby, please." Daisy went. Hannah followed, throwing Ryan a look that was half apology, half warning. The bedroom door closed. Richard settled onto the couch without asking, crossed his legs. "Sit, Mr. Walker. You're making me nervous standing there like a bouncer." Ryan sat in the chair across from him. "What do you want?" "Direct." "Good. I respect that." Richard leaned back. "I want to know what you're after." "I'm not after anything." "Everyone's after something. Money, status, connection. A way out of this apartment." "I didn't even know Hannah had money until 3 days ago." "Convenient timing, right when I show up." Ryan felt heat rise in his chest. "You think she told me to play some angle to what scam her I defended her from an asshole store owner? That's it. That's how we met." "I know how you met. I know everything about you, Mr. Walker. Ryan James Walker, born St. Louis. Father left when you were 6. Mother worked 3 jobs. You barely graduated high school. Joined the Army. 4 years. Honorable discharge. Met Sarah Thompson at a bar in Kansas City. Married her 6 months later. Daughter born a year after that. Wife diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer when Daisy was 4. She died 2 years ago. You moved here for work. You're a framer. You make $42,000 a year. You have $6,200 in credit card debt. Your truck needs $1,500 in repairs you can't afford. Should I continue? Ryan's hands became fists. You had me investigated. Of course I did. I protect what's mine. Hannah's not a possession. No, she's my daughter, my only child, and she has a target on her back the size of my net worth. Richard leaned forward. Do you know how many people have tried to get close to her over the years? How many friends turned out to want money? How many boyfriends wanted access? How many teachers, coaches, mentors turned into parasites? I'm not a parasite. Prove it. How? How do I prove I care about her without you thinking it's an act? Richard smiled. Cold. You can't. That's the problem with wealth, Mr. Walker. It poisons everything. Every relationship becomes transactional. Every kindness becomes suspect. You think you're different. You think your poverty makes you pure. I think my poverty makes me understand what matters. Family, kindness, showing up, being there. Ryan's voice rose. Things money can't buy. Everything can be bought. You just haven't named your price yet. There isn't one. 100,000, right now. Walk away from Hannah. Never contact her again. I'll clear your debt and give you 94,000 cash. New truck, down payment on a house. Better life for Daisy. Ryan stared. You're serious? Completely. Get out. Richard raised an eyebrow. Excuse me? Get out of my home. Take your money. Take your investigation. And get out. Mr. Walker, I don't care how many billions you have. I don't care what you think about me, or this apartment, or my credit card debt. Hannah is my friend. She helped my daughter. She trusted me. And I'm not going to betray that for any amount of money. So get out before I throw you out. Silence. Long and heavy. Then Richard started laughing. Actually laughing. Deep and genuine. Ryan's confusion must have shown because Richard held up a hand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was cruel. What? The money, the test. Hannah said you'd refuse. I didn't believe her. Richard's whole demeanor shifted. The ice melted. I had to see for myself. A man who'd turn down that kind of money when he's drowning in debt. You're either a fool or exactly who Hannah says you are. What the hell is wrong with you? Many things, Mr. Walker. 30 years of wealth will do that. Richard stood, walked to the window, looked out at Oak Street. When Hannah had her accident, I tried everything. Best doctors, experimental treatments, threw millions at the problem. None of it worked. She was never going to walk again, and I couldn't accept it. So I tried to control everything else. Her environment, her care, her life. I smothered her. She ran. And I've spent 4 years looking for her. Why? Because she's all I have left. Her mother died when she was 12. Cancer. Like your Sarah. Richard's voice cracked. Just slightly. I threw myself into work, built an empire, and lost my daughter in the process. Ryan didn't know what to say. Then I find her here, in this apartment, teaching your child, smiling, actually smiling. And I realized something. Richard turned. She's happy. For the first time since the accident, she's genuinely happy. Because of you. Because of Daisy. Because you treat her like a person instead of a tragedy. She is a person. I know that now. Richard moved toward the bedroom door, knocked softly. Hannah, can you come out? The door opened. Hannah wheeled out. Daisy followed. Both looked worried. Richard knelt beside Hannah's chair. His knees cracked. I'm sorry. For everything. For trying to protect you so hard I pushed you away. For not trusting you. For not seeing that you didn't need me to fix you. You just needed me to listen. Hannah's eyes filled. Dad? You were right to leave. I was suffocating you. And Mr. Walker here just proved he's not after your money by telling me to get out of his apartment after I offered him $100,000 to leave you alone. Hannah's head whipped toward Ryan. He what? Test, Richard said. He passed, actually threatened to throw me out. I like him. You offered him money. In my defense, it usually works. Dad. Hannah, I'm trying to apologize here. I'm not good at it. Give me a moment. Richard stood, addressed Ryan. I was wrong about you. You're a good man, a good father, and clearly someone my daughter trusts. I'd like to start over, if you'll let me. Ryan exhaled slowly. No more tests. No more tests. And you don't get to investigate my friends or threaten people or throw money around to solve problems. That might be harder to promise, but I'll try. Hannah wiped her eyes. This is the weirdest apology I've ever heard. I'm rusty, Richard admitted. He looked at Daisy, who still watched warily from the doorway. Daisy, I'm sorry I made your father upset. That was wrong of me. Daisy considered this. Are you really rich? Daisy, Ryan said. It's fine. Richard smiled. Yes, very rich. Can you buy Dad a new truck? Daisy. What, you said the truck is dying. Maybe he can help. Richard laughed again. She's sharp. I like her too. He pulled out his phone. What kind of truck do you drive, Mr. Walker? Don't, Ryan said. Don't do this. I don't want your money. It's not charity. Consider it an apology for the investigation, the test, the general assholery. I don't need Ryan. Hannah's voice cut through, gentle. Let him. He's trying, and your truck really is dying. Ryan wanted to refuse, wanted to hold on to his pride. But he thought about Daisy, about the morning last week when the truck wouldn't start and he'd been late to work, about the oil burning and the transmission grinding. Fine, but nothing fancy, just something reliable. Reliable. I can do reliable. Richard typed on his phone. Done. Dealership on Madison will call you tomorrow. Pick whatever truck you want under $40,000. Tell them to bill me. Under $40,000, that's not... Mr. Walker. I make that much in about 6 minutes. Please, let me do this. Ryan looked at Hannah. She nodded. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Richard pocketed his phone. Now, I interrupted your day, and I imagine you all had plans, so I'll leave you to it. But Hannah, we need to talk, soon, about you coming home. I'm not coming home, Dad. Not to live, just to visit. To be part of the family again. Please. Hannah hesitated, then nodded. We can talk. That's all I ask. Richard moved toward the door, stopped. Oh. One more thing. Jerry Morrison. Ryan tensed. What about him? I did some digging after Hannah told me what happened. Turns out he's been systematically overcharging customers for years, changing price tags, shorting change, small amounts. But it adds up. I've already called the local news. They'll be investigating his business practices this week. Thought you should know. With that, Richard Brewster walked out, left them standing in the apartment in stunned silence. Daisy spoke first. He's weird. Yeah, Hannah said. He really is. Ryan sank onto the couch. That just happened. Hannah wheeled over. I'm sorry. I should have told you earlier. About who my father is. About the money. I just wanted to be normal for once. To have friends who saw me as Hannah. Not Hannah Brewster, the billionaire's daughter. I get it. I do. But that was intense. Welcome to my world. Hannah reached for his hand. Are we okay? Ryan squeezed her fingers. We're okay. But no more secrets. Deal. Deal. Daisy climbed onto the couch between them. Can we still have our lesson? I want to show Miss Hannah my new book. Of course, Hannah said. Let's see it. They spent the afternoon reading. Like nothing had changed. Like the last hour hadn't upended everything. And in a way, nothing had changed. Hannah was still Hannah. Patient, and kind, and funny. Ryan was still Ryan. Protective and stubborn and trying his best. Daisy was still Daisy. Bright and curious and learning to love books. The money didn't matter. The wealth didn't change the essential truth. They were good for each other. This strange little family they'd accidentally formed. That evening after Hannah left, Ryan's phone buzzed. Text from Hannah. Thank you for standing up to my father. No one ever does that. You're braver than you know. Ryan replied. He loves you, in his own weird billionaire way. I know, but I like your way better. Ryan stared at those words. Your way. Did she mean his way of caring, his way of showing up, his way of just being present without trying to control or fix everything? Before he could respond, another text came. Can I take you and Daisy to dinner tomorrow? My treat. I know a place. You don't have to do that. I want to. Please, let me do something nice for you for once. Ryan hesitated, then typed. Okay, but nowhere fancy. Daisy only eats chicken nuggets. I know a great chicken nugget place. Pick you up at 6. We'll be ready. The next evening, Hannah arrived in her silver sedan. Ryan and Daisy climbed in. The interior was nice. Leather seats, clean, but not flashy. Not the kind of car he'd expected from a billionaire's daughter. Where are we going? Daisy asked from the back seat. My favorite diner. Best chicken nuggets in the state. Trust me. They drove 15 minutes to a place called Rosie's. Small, old-fashioned. Red vinyl booths and a jukebox in the corner. The smell of burgers and coffee hit Ryan the moment they walked in. This is your favorite place? Ryan asked. Been coming here since I was a kid. My mom used to bring me before she got sick. It's where I feel most like myself. They slid into a booth. Daisy immediately grabbed the crayon cup and started coloring the kids' menu. Hannah ordered the chicken nuggets. Ryan got a burger. They talked about school, about Daisy's reading progress, about everything except money, or Richard, or the strangeness of the last few days. It felt normal. Easy. Right. Halfway through dinner, Daisy spoke up. Miss Hannah, can I ask you something? Anything, sweetie. Why don't you live with your dad? If he has lots of money, wouldn't that be easier? Hannah set down her fork. That's a really good question. The truth is, sometimes being around family can be hard. Not because you don't love them, but because they see you one way, and you need them to see you another way. What do you mean? My dad sees me as his little girl who got hurt, and he wants to take care of me. But I need to take care of myself, to prove I can do things on my own. Does that make sense? Daisy nodded slowly. Like how Daddy still treats me like a baby sometimes, but I'm 8 now. Exactly like that. I get it. Daisy went back to coloring. Ryan met Hannah's eyes across the table. Something passed between them. Understanding. Respect. Maybe something deeper. His phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. Mr. Walker, this is Monica Chen, producer at Channel 7 News. We're running a story on Morrison's Grocery tomorrow evening. Would you be willing to provide a statement about your experience with Jerry Morrison? Your name was given to us by a source. Ryan showed the text to Hannah. Your dad works fast. When he decides to do something, he goes all in. She paused. Are you going to respond? I don't know. I don't want to be on TV. You don't have to be. Written statement is fine, but this could help other people. Other people Jerry's been cheating. Ryan thought about Mrs. Chen from his building. About Bill Vasquez. About all the people who shopped at Morrison's because it was convenient and cheap and they didn't know they were being scammed. He typed back. I'll provide a written statement, but I prefer not to be on camera. The response came immediately. That works. Can you email it to this address tonight? Sure. Hannah smiled. You're doing the right thing. I hope so. The next evening, Ryan and Daisy watched Channel 7 News. The story ran at 6:30. Monica Chen stood outside Morrison's Grocery. For years, Morrison's Grocery has been a neighborhood staple, but an investigation by Channel 7 has uncovered a pattern of fraudulent business practices. Store owner Jerry Morrison has allegedly been systematically overcharging customers, manipulating prices, and providing incorrect change. The segment showed security footage. Customers. Transactions. Then, Jerry's face red and angry as Monica Chen tried to interview him. I don't have to talk to you. This is slander. Is it true you accused a disabled woman of shoplifting without evidence last month? Jerry's face went purple. Get off my property. The segment cut to statements from customers, people who'd noticed discrepancies, people who'd been treated poorly, and there at the end, Ryan's words on screen. I witnessed Mr. Morrison accuse a woman in a wheelchair of theft without proof. When challenged, he couldn't provide evidence. His behavior was discriminatory and unprofessional. Customers deserve better. Daisy pointed at the screen. Daddy, that's what you said? Yeah, baby, it is. His phone rang. Hannah. You watching this? Yeah. Is your dad watching this? Probably. He's very proud of himself right now. Fair warning. Ryan laughed despite himself. This is insane. A week ago I was just a guy buying groceries. And now you're a guy who stood up for what's right. That matters, Ryan. More than you know. After they hung up, Ryan sat with Daisy and watched the rest of the news. The story ended with Morrison's being shut down pending investigation. The neighborhood would need a new grocery store. His phone buzzed again. This time, Richard Brewster. Mr. Walker, I'm purchasing the Morrison's building, converting it to a community center, literacy programs, disability resources, job training. I'd like Hannah to run it. She'll need volunteers. Interested? Ryan stared at the text. A community center, where Morrison's used to be, turning something ugly into something good. He texted back, Count me in. The response came immediately. Good man. We'll talk details next week. By the way, your truck is ready. 2023 Ford F-150. Reliable, like you requested. Ryan felt his throat tighten. He walked to the window, looked out at his dying truck on the street. Tomorrow he'd have a new one. Because a billionaire decided to apologize. Because Ryan had defended his daughter. Because sometimes life took turns you never saw coming. Daddy. Daisy climbed onto the couch beside him. Are you sad? No, baby. I'm just thinking. About what? About how one decision can change everything. About how standing up for someone can lead to all this. Bah. Do you wish you didn't say anything in the store that day? Ryan pulled her close. Not for a second. Best decision I ever made. Because it was true. Meeting Hannah, defending her, all of it. Every strange, uncomfortable, wonderful moment had led here. To friendship, to hope, to the beginning of something he couldn't quite name yet. His phone buzzed one more time. Hannah again. My dad wants us all to have dinner next week, at his house. Fair warning, it's ridiculous. Like movie mansion ridiculous. But he's trying, and I'd really like you to come, both of you. Ryan smiled, typed back. We'll be there, but only if there are chicken nuggets. I'll make sure of it. Thank you, Ryan. For everything. For seeing me. For not running when things got weird. For being exactly who you are. Ryan read those words 3 times. Then he looked at Daisy already half asleep against his shoulder. At the apartment that suddenly felt less like a trap and more like home. At the future that had seemed so bleak and now glowed with possibility. He didn't know where this was going. Didn't know if Hannah felt what he was starting to feel. Didn't know if a construction worker and a billionaire's daughter could actually build something real together. But he knew he wanted to try. And for the first time since Sarah died, that felt like enough. The week passed in a blur. Ryan picked up the new truck on Tuesday. Drove it home feeling like he'd stepped into someone else's life. The engine purred. The seats didn't have duct tape holding the foam in. The AC actually worked. Daisy bounced in the back seat the whole way home. It smells new, Daddy. I know, baby. Can we keep it forever? That's the plan. But Wednesday brought reality crashing back. Ryan's crew boss pulled him aside at the job site. Walker, you the guy from the news, the Morrisons thing? Yeah, that's me. Huh. Didn't know you were some kind of activist. I'm not. Just did what was right. His boss grunted. Well, Jenkins saw it. Wants to talk to you. Says his mother-in-law shops at Morrison's. Got overcharged for months. He's pissed. Jenkins cornered Ryan at lunch, then Martinez, then 3 other guys. All of them had stories. Parents, grandparents, friends who'd been scammed. Ryan listened, took notes, passed the information to Monica Chen at Channel 7. By Friday, the investigation had expanded. State Attorney General got involved. Morrison's wasn't just a local problem anymore. Ryan's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Interview requests. Thank you messages from strangers. One woman called him a hero. He deleted that voicemail immediately. He wasn't a hero. Heroes didn't feel this uncomfortable with attention. Saturday morning, Hannah texted. Still okay for dinner tonight, Dad's cooking. Well, Dad's chef is cooking, but Dad will be there. Ryan looked at Daisy, who was practicing reading at the kitchen table. You want to go to Miss Hannah's dad's house for dinner? Daisy looked up. The rich one. Yeah. Will there be chicken nuggets? Miss Hannah promised. Then yes. Ryan texted back. We're in. What time? 6. I'll pick you up. And Ryan, wear whatever you're comfortable in. Don't stress about it. But he did stress. Spent 20 minutes staring at his closet. He owned exactly 3 button-down shirts, 2 for funerals, 1 for Daisy's school events. None of them felt right for dinner at a billionaire's mansion. He settled on jeans and the school event shirt. Navy blue, wrinkled but clean. Good enough. Hannah arrived at 5:45. She wore a green dress. Simple, pretty. Ryan's mouth went dry. You look nice, he managed. Thanks, you too. She smiled. Ready for this? No, but let's go anyway. The drive took 30 minutes, out of town, into hills Ryan had only seen from a distance. The houses got bigger. The driveways got longer. The gates got taller. Hannah turned onto a private road, punched a code into a keypad. Gates swung open. Here we go, she said quietly. The driveway wound through trees, then suddenly opened into a clearing. And there it was. Ryan had seen mansions on TV, in movies. This was different. This was real stone and real windows stretching 3 stories high and real fountains in the circular drive. This was wealth he couldn't comprehend. Holy shit, he whispered. Language, Daisy said from the back seat. Then, wow. Yeah, Hannah said. It's a lot. I grew up here, and it's still too much. She parked near the front entrance. A man in a suit appeared immediately, helped Hannah with her wheelchair, opened doors. Ryan felt like he'd walked into a different world. Richard Brewster met them in the foyer. He wore slacks and a sweater, casual, but the kind of casual that probably cost more than Ryan's truck. Welcome, Richard said. Come in, please. The inside was worse than the outside. Marble floors, marble, crystal chandeliers, artwork that looked important. Ryan's boots squeaked on the polished stone. This place is huge, Daisy said. 14,000 square feet, Richard said. Ridiculous, I know. I've been thinking about downsizing. Maybe something reasonable, like 8,000 square feet. Hannah laughed. Dad, that's still huge. Is it? I lose track? Richard knelt to Daisy's level. I had the chef make chicken nuggets, but also real food if you're feeling adventurous. What kind of real food? Steak, salmon, pasta, chef's choice. Can I have chicken nuggets and pasta? You can have whatever you want. They followed Richard through hallways, past rooms Ryan couldn't identify. Library, study, something that looked like a ballroom. Finally reached a dining room with a table that could seat 20, but only 4 places were set, at one end, close together, intimate, despite the massive space. Dinner was strange, the food was incredible, the conversation was normal, Richard asked Daisy about school, about her reading, about her favorite books. He asked Ryan about construction, about the community center plans, about his life before Morrison's. And slowly, Ryan relaxed. Because Richard wasn't performing, wasn't showing off, was just a father having dinner with his daughter and her friends. After dessert, Richard stood. "Daisy, would you like to see the game room I had it built for Hannah when she was your age? Has every video game system ever made." Daisy's eyes went huge. "Really? Really? Come on, I'll show you how to play the classics." They left. Ryan and Hannah alone in the dining room. Hannah wheeled closer. "He likes you." "How can you tell?" "He's relaxed. When he doesn't like someone, he gets formal, cold. But with you, he's himself." "Who knew I'd get along with a billionaire?" "You'd get along with anyone. It's your superpower." Ryan met her eyes. Green dress, hazel eyes, smile that made his chest tight. "Hannah, I need to ask you something." "Okay." "What is this between us? Because I feel like we're dancing around something and I don't know if it's just me or if you feel it too." Hannah's expression shifted, vulnerable. "I feel it." Yeah. Yeah, I have for weeks. Maybe since that first day at Price Chopper. Maybe before. I don't know. She looked down at her hands. "But I didn't say anything because I was scared. Scared you'd think I was crazy. Scared the money would ruin it. Scared you only saw me as Daisy's tutor. I stopped seeing you as just Daisy's tutor about 5 minutes after you started teaching her." "Really? Really? Hannah, you're smart and funny and kind, and you make my daughter light up. You make me light up, and I haven't felt this way since Sarah, and I don't know what to do about it." "Do you want to do something about it?" Ryan's heart hammered. "I want to take you on a real date, not tutoring, not family dinner, just us. If that's okay. If you want that." Hannah's smile could have powered the whole mansion. "I really want that. Tomorrow lunch. I know a place. Not Rosie's. Different place. Trust me." "I trust you." She reached for his hand. "Ryan, I need you to know something. The money. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be weird. People are always going to wonder if you're with me for it. Let them wonder. I know the truth. But it'll be hard. My father will probably buy you things. People will talk. Your friends might act different. Are you ready for that?" Ryan thought about it. Really thought. "I've lived through my wife dying. Through raising Daisy alone. Through being broke and scared and not knowing if we'd make it. I can handle people talking." "You're sure, Beu?" "I'm sure." Footsteps in the hall. Daisy and Richard returning. Laughing. Daisy was holding a stuffed animal that looked vintage. "Daddy, look. Mr. Brewster gave me Miss Hannah's old teddy bear. Is that okay?" Richard shrugged. "She wasn't using it, just collecting dust in storage." Hannah's eyes filled. "Dad, that's Mr. Button's. Mom gave me that." "I know, but your mother would want a child to enjoy it, not have it sit in a closet." "Thank you." Hannah's voice cracked. They left an hour later. Daisy fell asleep in the back seat halfway home. Ryan watched Hannah drive. The way her hands moved on the controls, the way she checked mirrors, the easy competence. "What?" she asked, catching him staring. "Just thinking about tomorrow. Our date. Where are we going?" "It's a surprise." "I hate surprises." "You'll like this one." She pulled up outside Ryan's apartment, helped him wake Daisy, walked them to the door. "Thank you for tonight," Hannah said. "For meeting my dad on his turf. For being patient with all the weirdness." "It wasn't that weird." "You're lying." "Okay, it was a little weird, but good weird." Hannah laughed, leaned up from her chair, kissed his cheek. Quick, soft. "Good night, Ryan." "Good night." He floated into the apartment, put Daisy to bed, sat on his couch in the dark, and touched his cheek where she'd kissed him. Tomorrow. A real date. with a woman who made him feel alive again. The next morning, Ryan woke early, made breakfast, got Daisy settled with her books and the neighbor's daughter who babysat sometimes. Then texted Hannah. Ready at noon. Where are we going? Patience. I don't have patience. Then I'll teach you. She sent back a laughing emoji. Ryan drove the new truck to Hannah's apartment. A small place on the second floor of a building with an elevator. Modest. Normal. Nothing like her father's mansion. She came down wearing jeans and a yellow sweater. Hair down. Minimal makeup. Beautiful. Hi, she said. Hi. Ryan couldn't stop grinning. You look great. So do you. Now tell me where we're going before I die of curiosity. We're going to the lake. The lake. There's a trail. Paved. Wheelchair accessible. Goes right along the water. Thought we could walk and talk. Or roll and talk in your case. Hannah's expression softened. You researched accessible trails. Spent 2 hours on Google last night. This one had the best reviews. Ryan Walker. Are you trying to make me cry on our first date? That's the goal. Cry now or cry later. She swatted his arm. Shut up and drive. The lake was 40 minutes away. The trail was exactly as advertised. Smooth pavement. Beautiful views. Not crowded on a Sunday morning. They moved slowly. Hannah pushing herself. Ryan walking beside her. Talking. About everything. About nothing. Hannah told him about teaching. About how much she'd loved it. How hard it was to give up. About the school administration saying they'd accommodate her disability, but then making it impossible with their policies. Ryan told her about Sarah. About the diagnosis, the treatments, the hope that kept dying little by little until there was none left. About the night she'd made him promise to move on, to find happiness again, to not spend his life grieving. I didn't think I could, Ryan admitted. Didn't think I'd ever feel this way again. And now I think Sarah knew something I didn't. That life keeps going. That love doesn't run out just because you use it once. They stopped at a bench overlooking the water. Hannah transferred from her chair to the seat. Ryan sat beside her, close but not touching. Can I ask about the accident? Ryan said. You mentioned a kid on a bike, but that's all I know. Hannah was quiet for a long moment. His name was Tyler. He was 9, riding home from a friend's house. It was raining, getting dark. He came around a corner without looking. I saw him, swerved. If I'd hit him, he would have died. So I hit the pole instead. You saved his life. I ruined mine. Hannah. I know that's not the right way to think about it. My therapist has been telling me for 4 years. But sometimes I wonder what life would be like if I'd just hit him. If I'd been the one who died instead of spending every day in this chair. Ryan's chest hurt. Does Tyler know what you did for him? His parents do. They came to the hospital, thanked me, offered to help with medical bills. My father paid them off to go away. What? He thought they'd sue. Thought they were after money. So he made them sign a settlement. They got $200,000. Tyler got to never know the woman who saved him gave up her legs to do it. That's horrible. That's my father. Or who he was. He's trying to be better now. Hannah looked at Ryan. You've changed him, you know. Standing up to him. Not taking his money. He respects that. Respects you. I don't want his respect. I want him to see you. Really see you. He's starting to, because of you. They sat in silence. Watched the water. A family walked past. Parents. 2 kids. Dog. Normal. Easy. Ryan wondered if he and Hannah could ever have that. If people would stare. If it would always be complicated. As if reading his mind, Hannah spoke. It's always going to be hard. Being with me. The wheelchair. The money. People will have opinions. Let them. You say that now. But when we're in public and people stare, when your friends ask questions, When Daisy's classmates' parents gossip, it wears on you. Then we'll deal with it together. Hannah turned to face him. Why me, Ryan? You could find someone easier. Someone who could run around with Daisy. Someone who doesn't come with a billionaire father and a disability and a lifetime of complications. Because I don't want easy. I want you. Ryan took her hand. I want the way you make Daisy laugh. The way you explain things with patience I don't have. The way you stood up to Jerry Morrison like you owned the world. The way you're kind even when people are cruel. That's why you, Hannah. Because you're exactly who I want. She kissed him, leaned in and pressed her lips to his. Soft, sweet, everything. When they pulled apart, Hannah was crying. Happy tears. This is our first date and I'm a mess. Mission accomplished then. She laughed through the tears. I really like you, Ryan Walker. I really like you too, Hannah Brewster. They stayed at the lake another hour, talking, planning. Ryan told her about the community center, about Richard's plans to turn Morrison's into something good, about the literacy programs and job training. He wants you to run it, Ryan said. I know. He asked me last week. What did you say? I said I'd think about it. Hannah looked out at the water. Part of me wants to teach again, to feel useful. But another part is scared. Scared I'll fail. Scared people won't take me seriously. Scared my father will use it to control me again. He won't. Not anymore. I'll make sure of it. My knight in shining armor. Your friend with a truck and strong opinions. Hannah smiled. Will you help me at the center? If I say yes. Of course, whatever you need. I need you to keep being honest with me. Keep calling me out when I'm being stubborn. Keep reminding me I can do hard things. Deal. They drove back as the sun started setting. Ryan walked Hannah to her apartment door. This was the best first date I've ever had, Hannah said. Yeah, even with the crying. Especially with the crying. She kissed him again. Longer this time. Deeper. When they broke apart, Ryan felt dizzy. Come over tomorrow, Hannah said. For dinner. Just us and Daisy. I'll cook. You cook? I'm full of surprises. Apparently. The next few weeks blurred together. Ryan worked. Hannah started planning the community center. They saw each other every day, sometimes with Daisy, sometimes alone. The relationship deepened, grew roots. Richard called Ryan one evening. The community center opens in 2 months. Grand opening ceremony. I'd like you to speak. Me, I'm not a public speaker. You're the reason it exists. You stood up when no one else would. The community should hear from you. I don't know. Think about it. We don't need an answer now. But Ryan already knew he'd say yes, because this mattered, because turning Morrison's ugliness into something beautiful mattered. December came. The center took shape. Old shelves became reading nooks. The stockroom became a classroom. The place where Jerry Morrison had humiliated Hannah transformed into a space for healing and learning. Hannah threw herself into the work. Curriculum planning, volunteer recruitment, grant applications. She glowed with purpose. Daisy's reading improved dramatically. She was at grade level now, above in some areas. Her teacher called Ryan in for a conference. Whatever you're doing at home, keep doing it. Daisy's thriving. Ryan wanted to say it wasn't him. It was Hannah. It was all Hannah. 2 weeks before Christmas, Ryan worked late at a job site, came home to find Hannah's car outside his building. Strange. She usually texted before coming over. He climbed the stairs, found her in the hallway, crying. Hannah, what's wrong? My father. Her voice shook. He collapsed. Heart attack. He's at County General. Ryan's stomach dropped. Is he okay? I don't know. They're doing tests. I just left. I couldn't sit there anymore. I needed to see you. He helped her inside, made tea, held her while she cried. "He can't die," Hannah said. "Not now. Not when we're finally fixing things. Not when he's finally becoming the dad I needed. He's strong. He'll be okay. You don't know that." "No, but I believe it." Ryan called the neighbor, asked her to stay with Daisy, then drove Hannah back to the hospital. County General was chaos. ER full, people everywhere. But Richard Brewster had a private room. Money did that. He looked small in the hospital bed, gray, vulnerable, nothing like the commanding presence from that first meeting. "Hannah." His voice was weak. "You came back." "Of course I came back. You're my dad." "Brought your young man too." "Hi, Mr. Brewster," Ryan said. "Call me Richard, please. We're past formalities." Richard coughed. "Doctor says I need surgery. Triple bypass. Apparently decades of stress and too much scotch catch up eventually." "When?" "Tomorrow morning. 8% mortality rate. They tell you that so you can't sue if you die." Richard tried to laugh. Couldn't quite manage it. "Hannah, I need to tell you something." "Dad, don't. You're going to be fine." "Let me say it anyway, just in case." He reached for her hand. "I'm sorry. For everything. For smothering you after the accident. For not listening. For trying to control your life because I couldn't control what happened to you. You deserved better. Your mother would have known how to handle it. I didn't." "Dad, let me finish. You've built a good life. Found good people. Ryan, you take care of my girl. She's stubborn and brilliant, and too independent for her own good sometimes. But she's the best thing I ever made." "I will," Ryan promised. "And Hannah, run the center, teach, be happy. That's all I ever wanted. I just went about it all wrong." Hannah sobbed, laid her head on her father's chest. "You can't die. I won't let you." "Bossy, just like your mother." Richard stroked her hair. "I love you, sweetheart, so much. I'm sorry I didn't say it enough." They stayed until visiting hours ended, drove home in silence. Hannah came back to Ryan's apartment. Didn't want to be alone. She slept in Ryan's bed. He took the couch. Didn't sleep. Just stared at the ceiling and prayed to a God he wasn't sure he believed in anymore. Please, let Richard survive. Let Hannah keep her father now that they'd found each other again. Morning came. Ryan drove Hannah back to the hospital at 6. Surgery started at 7:30, lasted 4 hours. At 11:15 a surgeon emerged, tired but smiling. "The surgery went well. He's in recovery. You can see him in about an hour." Hannah collapsed in relief. Ryan caught her, held her up. "He's okay," Ryan whispered. "He's okay." Richard recovered quickly, too quickly according to his doctors. Refused to stay in the hospital more than 3 days. Went home with nurses and instructions to rest. He didn't rest. Called Hannah daily. Planned the center opening. Argued with doctors. Was himself again. The grand opening happened on a Saturday in January. The whole town came. Monica Chen covered it for Channel 7. The mayor spoke. Richard spoke. Then they called Ryan to the podium. His hands shook. Public speaking was a nightmare. But Hannah sat in the front row, smiling, believing in him. Ryan cleared his throat. 6 months ago I was just a guy buying groceries. Then I saw something wrong and couldn't walk away. That decision led to all this. Not because I'm special, but because when we stand up for each other, when we choose kindness over cruelty, good things happen. This center exists because a community decided that's not okay. That people deserve dignity, deserve respect, deserve a second chance. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for proving that goodness still exists. The applause was deafening. Ryan stepped down. Hannah grabbed his hand, squeezed. "Perfect," she whispered. The center thrived. Within weeks, every literacy class was full. Job training programs had waiting lists. The space that had been Morrison's ugliness became the town's heart. And through it all, Ryan and Hannah grew closer, fell deeper, built something real. On a Tuesday in February, Ryan picked Daisy up from school. She climbed into the truck, buckled up, then said, "Are you going to marry Miss Hannah?" Ryan nearly drove off the road. "What? Kids at school asked if she's my new mom. I said no, but I want her to be. Is that okay?" Ryan pulled over, turned to face his daughter. "You want Hannah to be your mom? She's nice. She teaches me stuff. She makes you smile. And she already loves us. I can tell." "How can you tell?" "Because she looks at us the way Mommy used to, before she got sick." Ryan's eyes burned. "If I asked Hannah to marry me, would you be happy?" Daisy grinned. "Super happy. Can I help you ask?" "Yeah, baby, you can help." That night after Daisy was asleep, Ryan sat on his couch, thought about rings, about proposals, about building a life with Hannah. His phone buzzed, text from Hannah. "Can't sleep, thinking about you." Ryan smiled, typed back. "Thinking about you too. About us. About the future. Good thoughts. The best thoughts. Tell me." Ryan hesitated, then typed, "I'm thinking about forever, if you're interested." 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again, finally. "I'm very interested." Ryan's heart soared. This was it. This was his second chance, his new beginning. And he wasn't going to waste a single moment. Ryan spent the next week planning. Not the elaborate proposal Richard suggested, complete with helicopters and fireworks. Something real. Something Hannah. He called Richard on Thursday. "I need your help with something." "Name it." "The boy from Hannah's accident. Tyler. Do you know where he is?" Silence on the line. "Then why?" "Because Hannah needs to see him, needs to know he's okay. That what she gave up mattered." "Ryan, I paid his family to disappear, to protect Hannah from potential lawsuits." "I know, but that was wrong, and you know it was wrong. Can you find him?" Another pause. "Give me 24 hours. Richard called back Friday morning. "Tyler Chen. Lives with his parents on Maple Drive. He's 13 now, plays soccer. Good student, normal kid." "Will they talk to me?" "I already called them, explained who you are. They'll meet you tomorrow. 2 o'clock. The mother cried when I told her Hannah wanted to reconnect." "Thank you, Richard. Thank you for pushing me to fix my mistakes." Saturday afternoon, Ryan drove to Maple Drive. Small house, neat yard, a soccer ball on the front porch. He knocked. A woman answered. Mid-40s, kind eyes. "Mr. Walker." "Yes, ma'am. Call me Ryan." "I'm Jennifer Chen. Come in, please." The house smelled like cookies. Tyler sat on the couch. Lanky teenager, dark hair, nervous. "Tyler, this is Ryan. He's a friend of the woman who saved your life." Tyler stood, shook Ryan's hand. "Hi." "Hi. Thanks for meeting me." They sat. Jennifer brought coffee. Tyler fidgeted. "I don't remember much about the accident," Tyler said quietly. "Just rain, then waking up in the hospital. Mom said a lady swerved so she wouldn't hit me." "Her name is Hannah," Ryan said, "and she's been carrying that night with her for 4 years, wondering if you're okay, if saving you was worth what it cost her." "Is she okay? The lady Hannah?" "She's in a wheelchair. She'll never walk again. But she's okay. She's strong and kind, and she's building something beautiful. A community center where people learn to read and find jobs and get help." Tyler's eyes filled. "Because of me, she can't walk. Because of you, you're alive. That's how she sees it. But she needs to know you're okay, that you're happy, that her sacrifice meant something." Jennifer wiped her eyes. "We wanted to visit her in the hospital, but Mr. Brewster, her father, he paid us, made us sign papers. We took the money because we needed it. My husband lost his job that year. We were drowning. But we shouldn't have signed. We should have fought to thank her properly." "You can thank her now," Ryan said. "I'm asking her to marry me, and I want to give her the greatest gift I can think of. You, Tyler. Proof that what she did mattered." "When?" Jennifer asked. 2 weeks. At the therapy center where Hannah goes, where she learned to live in her wheelchair. It's where her journey started. Seems right to propose there." Tyler spoke up. "Can I say something to her?" "Whatever you want. I play soccer now, made varsity as a freshman. I'm good, really good. Scouts are already looking at me." Tyler's voice shook. "Every time I score a goal, I think about how I'm only alive because of her. Every single game. I want to tell her that I didn't waste what she gave me." Ryan's throat tightened. "She'll love that." They planned it over coffee and cookies. Jennifer cried twice. Tyler showed Ryan his soccer trophies. The weight of gratitude and grief and grace filled the small house. When Ryan left, he felt lighter. This would work. This would heal something in Hannah she didn't even know was broken. He called Richard from the truck. "It's set. Tyler's coming, but I need one more favor." "Anything." "Hannah's therapy center. Can you get us access private? Just her and me and Tyler and his family. And Daisy." "I'll make it happen." "When?" "Saturday, 2 weeks from today, 3 o'clock. Consider it done." "Ryan, this is good. What you're doing. She deserves this. She deserves everything." The next 2 weeks crawled. Ryan worked, saved money for a ring. Nothing fancy. He couldn't afford fancy. But real. Meaningful. He found a small jewelry store downtown. The owner, an elderly woman named Mrs. Patterson, showed him estate pieces. "This one," she said, holding up a simple gold band with a small diamond. "1940s, belonged to my mother. She wore it for 53 years, through war and peace and everything in between. It's seen real love." "How much?" "For you, for what you did at Morrison's, for giving this town hope." Mrs. Patterson smiled. 800, and that's a gift, young man. This ring is worth 3 times that." Ryan pulled out his credit card, the one he'd been paying down slowly. "I'll take it." He told Daisy the plan on Thursday night. They sat at the kitchen table. Her homework spread between them. "I'm going to ask Miss Hannah to marry me on Saturday." Daisy squealed. Actually squealed. "Really? Really? And I need your help." "What can I do?" "I need you to write something. About what Hannah means to you. What having her as your mom would mean. Can you do that?" Daisy nodded seriously. "I'll write the best thing ever." She spent 2 hours on it. Writing, erasing, rewriting. Finally showed Ryan 3 sentences in her careful handwriting. "Miss Hannah, you taught me that being different is okay. You taught me to love reading. And you taught my daddy to smile again. Will you be my mom?" Ryan hugged her. "It's perfect." "Will she say yes?" "I think so. I hope so." "She will. She loves us." Bay. Friday night, Ryan couldn't sleep. Rehearsed what he'd say. Threw it all out. Rehearsed again. Finally gave up at 3 a.m. Whatever he said would come from his heart. That would have to be enough. Saturday morning, he texted Hannah. "Can you meet me at the therapy center at 3? I have a surprise." "I hate surprises." "You'll like this one. Trust me." "Fine, but it better be good." "It will be. I promise." Ryan picked up Daisy at noon. She wore her favorite dress, pink with flowers, carried her written words in a sealed envelope. "Nervous, Daddy?" "Terrified." "Don't be. She'll say yes." They arrived at the therapy center at 2:30. Richard was already there. So were Jennifer and Tyler, and 3 staff members who'd agreed to witness. "Everything's ready," Richard said. "The room where Hannah did her first wheelchair session. I had them set it up exactly like it was 4 years ago. Thought she'd appreciate the symmetry." "Thank you. Thank you for loving my daughter the way she deserves." At 2:55, Hannah's car pulled up. Ryan's heart hammered. She wheeled in, saw everyone. Confusion crossed her face. "What's going on?" "Come with me," Ryan said. "Please." He led her down a hallway, to a therapy room. The door was closed. "Ryan, you're scaring me." "Don't be scared. Just trust me." He opened the door. The room was simple. Parallel bars, mats, mirrors. The space where Hannah had learned to transfer from wheelchair to surface, where she'd cried and cursed and finally accepted her new reality. But Tyler stood in the center, 13 years old, holding a soccer ball. Hannah gasped. "Who?" "My name is Tyler Chen," the boy said. "4 years ago on a rainy night you swerved your car to avoid hitting me. You saved my life, and I never got to say thank you." Hannah's hands flew to her mouth. You're the boy. I'm the boy. And I think about you every day. Every time I play soccer. Every time I score a goal. Every time I'm alive." Tyler's voice cracked. "I'm sorry it cost you so much. But I want you to know it mattered. I'm not wasting what you gave me. I promise I'm not." Hannah sobbed. "You're okay. You're really okay." "I'm okay because of you." Jennifer Chen stepped forward. "We wanted to visit you in the hospital, to thank you properly. But we were prevented. And we took money we shouldn't have taken. We were weak and scared. But we never stopped being grateful. Never stopped praying for you." "You don't need to apologize," Hannah managed through tears. "You don't owe me anything." "We owe you everything," Jennifer said. "Our son's life, his future, every moment we've had with him. That's because of you." Tyler moved closer, set the soccer ball in Hannah's lap. "This is from my first varsity game. I scored the winning goal. It's the most important thing I own, and I want you to have it. To know that what you did mattered. That I matter because you chose me over yourself." Hannah held the soccer ball like it was made of glass, cried so hard she shook. Ryan knelt beside her chair. "Hannah, that night 4 years ago, you proved who you are. Someone who saves people, who sacrifices, who chooses others over yourself. You've spent 4 years thinking about what you lost. I wanted you to see what you gained. This boy's life, his future, his dreams. That's yours. You did that." "I didn't know," Hannah whispered. "I didn't know he was okay. I didn't know any of this." "Now you do. And now I need to ask you something." Ryan pulled the ring box from his pocket, opened it. The small diamond caught the light. "Hannah Brewster, I was lost when I met you. Broken, just surviving. And you taught me to live again. You taught my daughter to read. You taught both of us that love doesn't run out. That second chances exist. That kindness matters. I don't have much. I can't give you mansions or fancy cars or anything close to what you're used to. But I can give you everything I am. Every day. Every moment. Forever. Will you marry me?" Hannah stared at the ring. At Tyler. At Ryan. At the therapy room where her life had shattered and now impossibly was coming back together. "Yes," she breathed. "Yes. 1,000 times yes." Ryan slid the ring onto her finger, kissed her. The room erupted in applause and tears and joy. Daisy ran forward, handed Hannah the envelope. "I wrote you something." Hannah opened it with shaking hands, read Daisy's careful words, cried harder. "Yes," Hannah said to Daisy. "Yes, I'll be your mom, if you'll have me." Daisy threw her arms around Hannah. Best day ever. The celebration spilled into the hallway. Tyler's parents hugged Hannah. Richard cried openly. Staff members cheered. Ryan stood back and watched, his heart so full it hurt. Hannah wheeled over, grabbed his hand. "You did this, all of this. You deserved it." "I don't deserve you." "Yeah, you do. We deserve each other." They set the wedding for April. Spring. New beginnings. Hannah wanted small. Ryan wanted whatever made her happy. They compromised on medium, the community center, where ugliness had become beauty, where Morrison's cruelty had transformed into grace. 50 people, family, friends, the town that had rallied around them. Richard handled the details, tried not to go overboard, failed slightly. The center was transformed with flowers and lights and magic. But Hannah didn't care. She glowed. Ryan wore the suit Richard bought him, argued about it for an hour before Hannah intervened. Let him do this. He's trying to be a good father. Let him. So Ryan let him. The suit fit perfectly, made him look like someone who belonged with Hannah Brewster. The ceremony was simple. Judge Murphy, who'd presided over Ryan's marriage to Sarah, agreed to officiate. We gather today, Judge Murphy began, to witness something extraordinary. Not just a marriage, but a testament to what happens when we choose kindness, when we stand up for strangers, when we believe in second chances. Ryan barely heard the words, just stared at Hannah in her white dress. Simple, elegant, beautiful beyond words. They exchanged vows, standard ones. Then Hannah surprised him. Ryan, when you walked out of Morrison's that day, you had no idea what would happen. You just knew something was wrong and you couldn't stay silent. That's who you are. That's why I love you. You see people. Really see them. You saw me when I was just a woman in a wheelchair being accused of theft. You saw my dignity when I'd almost forgotten I had any. You gave me back to myself. And now I'm giving myself to you, forever. Ryan's voice shook when he spoke. Hannah, you taught me that endings aren't always endings. That loss can become discovery. That broken things can heal in unexpected ways. You took my grief and showed me it could coexist with joy. You loved my daughter when she needed it most. You loved me when I'd forgotten how to love back. This is the easiest decision I've ever made. You. Always you. Judge Murphy smiled. The rings. Richard stepped forward, handed Ryan a wedding band that matched Hannah's engagement ring. Simple gold. Daisy brought Hannah's ring, the one they'd chosen together, engraved inside with 4 words, always and forever, amen. With this ring, Ryan said, sliding it onto Hannah's finger, I promise to see you, every day, exactly as you are, to love you through everything, to stand beside you, to never walk away. With this ring, Hannah said, voice breaking, I promise to be brave, to trust, to believe in us even when it's hard, to be the partner you deserve, the mother Daisy needs, the woman I became because you believed I could be. I now pronounce you husband and wife. Ryan, you may kiss your bride. Ryan kissed her. Long, deep, perfect. The room exploded in applause. They turned to face everyone. Ryan pushed Hannah's wheelchair down the aisle. Past friends, past Richard openly weeping, past Tyler and his family, past Monica Chen filming for a segment about second chances. Outside, November wind whispered through trees. The same wind that had blown through Morrison's that day 6 months ago. But gentler now, warmer. The reception was chaos, music, dancing. Daisy dragged Hannah onto the floor for a slow dance. Hannah held Daisy in her lap and spun the wheelchair in circles, both laughing. Richard clinked his glass. Speech time. I'm not good with words, he started. I'm good with numbers, spreadsheets, profit margins. But my daughter taught me that the most important things can't be measured, can't be bought. 6 months ago, a man I'd never met defended her in a grocery store, refused to look away when everyone else did. That man is now my son-in-law. And I couldn't be prouder. Ryan. Thank you for seeing what I was too blind to see. That my daughter doesn't need protection. She needs partnership. She needs respect. She needs love. You gave her all 3. Welcome to the family. Ryan stood, raised his glass. To Hannah, who taught me that courage isn't about standing up. It's about showing up every day with grace. I love you. To Hannah, everyone echoed. The party went late, Dancing, laughter, joy. Ryan watched it all, imprinted every moment in his memory. Near midnight, Hannah pulled him aside. "Can we get some air?" They went outside. The November night was cool, stars scattered across the sky. "Best day of my life," Hannah said. "Mine too. I have something to tell you. Been waiting for the right moment." Ryan's heart jumped. "What?" "I saw a specialist last month about whether I could have children. After the accident, doctors said it was unlikely, complicated, risky. But this doctor, he specializes in spinal cord injuries. He thinks it's possible, not guaranteed, but possible." Ryan knelt beside her chair. "You want to try? I want to try. If you do, if Daisy does, I know it's a lot. I know it might not work. We'll try. However long it takes, whatever it takes." Hannah kissed him. "I love you so much." "I love you too." They stayed outside another hour, talking, planning, dreaming about the future, about babies, about Daisy's reaction, about building a life that was theirs. Inside, Daisy found them. "Daddy, are you and Hannah leaving?" "Not yet, baby. Come here." Daisy climbed into Ryan's lap. The three of them sat there. Family. Finally. "Daisy," Hannah said gently, "how would you feel about maybe having a little brother or sister someday?" Daisy's eyes went huge. "Really?" "Maybe. We're going to try. But it might take a while. Or it might not happen. We just wanted you to know we're thinking about it." "I want a sister, named Emma, so I can prove to the Emma at school that the name isn't mean." Hannah laughed. "We'll see what we can do." They went back inside, danced more, ate cake, celebrated until they couldn't keep their eyes open. Richard had booked them a hotel. Fancy. Too fancy. But Hannah was too happy to argue. They left at 1 a.m. Daisy stayed with Richard. First sleepover at Grandpa's house. "Take care of my girl," Ryan told Richard. "Always. Now go. Enjoy your wedding night. I've got this." The hotel was ridiculous. Suite bigger than Ryan's apartment. But Hannah just laughed. "My dad is subtle as a brick." "At least he cares." "He does. Thanks to you." They fell asleep tangled together. Happy. Whole. Home. The next months were a blur of adjustment. Hannah moved into Ryan's apartment. Too small for 3 people, but they made it work. Planned to find something bigger when Ryan's lease ended. The community center thrived. Hannah ran it with passion and skill. Enrollment doubled, then tripled. They hired more teachers, more counselors, turned Morrison's legacy into something that changed lives. Ryan kept working construction. Refused Richard's offer of a job at Brewster Technologies. "I like what I do. I'm good at it. Don't need to change careers just because I married money." Hannah loved him more for that. In February, Hannah saw the specialist again. Started treatments. Hopeful but cautious. March brought disappointment. No pregnancy. April brought grief. Another negative test. May brought acceptance. This might not happen. But June brought a miracle. Hannah called Ryan at work. "Come home, right now." "What's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong. Everything's right. Just come home." Ryan left the job site, drove too fast, burst through the apartment door. Hannah sat in the living room, holding something small, white. "I'm pregnant," she whispered. "I'm pregnant." Ryan fell to his knees. "What?" "The test. It's positive. I'm pregnant, Ryan. We're having a baby." He kissed her, cried, laughed, all at once. Daisy came home from school to find them both crying on the couch. "What happened? Why is everyone sad?" "We're not sad," Hannah said. "We're happy. I'm pregnant. You're going to be a big sister." Daisy screamed, Really? Really? The pregnancy was complicated. High risk, weekly appointments, bed rest, worry. But Hannah's body held on. The baby grew, strong, healthy, determined. They found out in September. A girl. Emma, Daisy asked hopefully. How about Sarah? Ryan said quietly. After someone who would have loved you so much. Hannah's eyes filled. Sarah Hannah Walker? Perfect. November came again, full circle, 1 year since Morrison's, 1 year since everything changed. And on a cold November night, Sarah Hannah Walker was born, 7 pounds, healthy lungs, perfect. Hannah held her, exhausted, radiant. We did it. You did it, Ryan corrected. You're amazing. Daisy touched the baby's tiny hand. Hi, Sarah. I'm your big sister. I'm going to teach you everything. Richard arrived an hour later, held his granddaughter, cried. She looks like her grandmother. Good, Hannah said. Mom would have loved this, all of this. They went home 3 days later. To the new house Richard had insisted on buying them. Bigger, accessible, perfect for a growing family. Life settled into routine. Feedings, diapers, sleepless nights, beautiful chaos. One evening in December, Ryan stood in the nursery, watched Hannah rock Sarah to sleep, Daisy reading beside them. This life. This impossible, unexpected, perfect life. It started with 4 words. Get your hands off her. And led here. To love. To family. To proof that standing up matters. That kindness ripples outward. That broken things can heal in ways you never imagine. Sarah's eyes closed. Hannah looked up, smiled. What are you thinking? She whispered. That I'd do it all again, every moment. Every choice, all of it. Me too. Ryan kissed her forehead, kissed Daisy's head, touched Sarah's tiny hand. His family, his home, his second chance at everything. Outside November wind whispered through the trees, gentle, forgiving, full of promise. And Ryan Walker, standing in his daughter's nursery, with his wife and children, finally understood what Sarah had meant that night before she died. Life doesn't end with loss. It transforms. It continues. It surprises you with joy when you least expect it. All you have to do is be brave enough to show up, to speak up, to stand up, to refuse to look away. The rest somehow takes care of itself. I should probably jump forward in time a bit to show the lasting impact. Maybe Sarah is a few months old, then jump to a year later. End with a moment that brings everything full circle, perhaps back at the community center, or a moment that mirrors the opening. Let me start right from where part 4 ended. Ryan in the nursery, then move forward naturally. 3 months passed in a blur of diapers and laughter. Sarah was a good baby, slept through the night at 6 weeks, smiled early. Daisy doted on her constantly. Can I hold her again? Daisy asked every morning before school. Gently. Hannah reminded her every time, even though Daisy had been gentle from day one. Ryan watched his older daughter cradle his younger one. 2 sisters. Different mothers. Same love. Sarah would never know she came from anything but wholeness. February brought challenges. Sarah developed colic. Screamed for hours. Nothing helped. Hannah blamed herself. Maybe my body wasn't ready. Maybe I shouldn't have tried. Stop, Ryan said at 3 a.m., walking circles with their crying daughter. This isn't your fault. Babies cry. It's what they do. But what if... No what ifs. She's healthy, strong. She's just figuring out her stomach. We'll get through it. They did. By March, Sarah settled, started cooing, started reaching for things, started being a person instead of a tiny screaming potato. The community center expanded. Demand kept growing. People drove from neighboring towns for classes. Richard funded a second location, then a third. This is bigger than we thought. Hannah said one evening reviewing applications. We need to hire an executive director, someone to handle operations while I focus on curriculum. You don't want to run it anymore. I want to teach. That's what I love. The administrative stuff is killing me. She rubbed her temples. Is that terrible? My father built this for me, and I want to hand parts of it off. It's smart. Delegation isn't failure, it's growth. They hired Maria Rodriguez, former nonprofit director. Bilingual, brilliant. Within 2 months, she'd streamlined everything. Hannah returned to the classroom, glowed again. Thank you, Hannah told Ryan one night after Sarah was down, for pushing me to admit what I wanted. That's what partners do. April marked 1 year since the wedding. Ryan surprised Hannah with dinner at Rosie's, the diner where they'd taken Daisy on their first family outing. Full circle, Hannah said, sliding into their old booth. Felt right. Rosie herself came over. Older woman, had owned the place 40 years. Heard you two got married, had a baby. Congratulations. Thank you, Hannah said. On the house tonight. Anyone who stands up to Jerry Morrison like you did deserves free pie. What happened to him? Ryan asked. I never followed up. Rosie's expression hardened. Trials next month. Fraud. Theft. 15 counts. Looking at prison time. Good riddance if you ask me. Man stole from half this town for years. Ryan felt something settle in his chest. Justice. Slow, but certain. They ate burgers and fries. Talked about everything and nothing. Daisy was with Richard for the evening. Sarah with a babysitter. Just Ryan and Hannah. Like dating again. I want more, Hannah said suddenly. More pie, I'm pretty full, but more kids. I want more babies, if my body can handle it, if you want to. Ryan set down his burger. Yeah. Sarah's amazing. Daisy's thriving. I want this, our family, as big as it can be. Then we'll try again, whenever you're ready. Hannah reached across the table, squeezed his hand. How did I get so lucky? Pretty sure I'm the lucky one. Let's call it even. They drove home the long way, past Morrison's old building now gleaming with the community center sign, past the street where they'd first met, past the price chopper where Hannah had reached for heating pads and Ryan had offered help. You know what's crazy, Hannah said. If Jerry Morrison hadn't been a jerk that day, none of this happens. We never meet. You don't defend me. Our entire life doesn't exist. So what we should thank him? God, no. But it's weird how cruelty can lead to kindness. How the worst moment can become the best thing. Ryan thought about that. About Sarah's illness. About loss leading to love. About endings becoming beginnings. Maybe that's the point. We don't get to choose what happens to us. Just what we do about it. Deep thoughts from Ryan Walker. I have my moments. They got home to find the babysitter frazzled. She's been crying for 20 minutes. I tried everything. Sarah's wails filled the house. Hannah took her immediately. It's okay, baby girl. Mama's here. The crying stopped, just like that. Sarah nuzzled into Hannah's shoulder and sighed. The babysitter stared. How did you? Magic, Hannah said, otherwise known as the fact that she just wanted her mom. After the babysitter left, Ryan held Hannah while she held Sarah. You're really good at this. At what? Being a mom. You worry you're not. But you are. Natural. I'm terrified every day that I'm messing it up. That's how you know you're doing it right. The ones who don't worry are the problem. May brought Tyler back into their lives. He showed up at the community center one afternoon, taller now, 14, still carrying that soccer ball. I wanted to show you something, he told Hannah. He led her outside, to the parking lot, started juggling the ball, feet, knees, head, 50 touches without it hitting the ground. I made state team, he said, slightly breathless. Youngest player ever selected. And I wanted you to see, wanted you to know I'm doing something with what you gave me. Hannah's eyes filled. Tyler, I'm so proud of you. Come to a game. Please. My parents ask about you all the time. They'd love to see you. We'll be there. All of us, Ryan and Daisy and baby Sarah. We wouldn't miss it. Tyler's game was Saturday. Regional championship. Packed stands. Tyler spotted them immediately. Waved. Ryan saw him point them out to his teammates, saw the pride on his face. The game was intense, tied at 2, 5 minutes left. Tyler got the ball 30 yards out. Did something magical with his feet. Curved it past the goalkeeper. Upper corner, impossible angle. The crowd erupted. Tyler ran toward the stands, pointed at Hannah. Mouthed, "That was for you." Hannah sobbed. Happy tears. Grateful tears. "He's extraordinary." "Because of you," Ryan said. After the game, Tyler's whole team came over, wanted to meet Hannah, wanted to hear the story. Tyler told it with reverence, how she'd saved him, how she'd given up walking so he could play soccer. "Because of her, I'm here," Tyler finished. "Every goal I score is hers too." The boys shook Hannah's hand, thanked her, treated her like the hero she was. Driving home, Hannah was quiet, processing. "You okay?" Ryan asked. "Better than okay. I spent 4 years thinking I'd lost everything in that accident. But Tyler, those boys, the respect in their eyes, I didn't lose anything. I gained purpose." Does that sound crazy? Not even a little. June brought news from Richard. He'd been quieter lately, spending time with them, but seeming distant. Ryan worried. "Is your dad okay?" he asked Hannah one evening. "I don't know. He seems off. Tired. Won't talk about it." Richard called the next day. "Can you come to the house, you and Ryan? I need to discuss something." They drove out, left the girls with Daisy's friend's mom, found Richard in his study. He looked older, worn. "Dad, what's going on?" Hannah asked immediately. "I'm retiring, stepping down as CEO of Brewster Technologies, effective end of the month." Silence. Then Hannah, why?" "Because I'm 72 years old, because I had a heart attack 8 months ago, because I've spent my entire life building a company and I'm just now realizing I have no life outside it." Richard looked at them. "I want to be a grandfather, a real one. Not the guy who shows up for Christmas and birthdays. I want to be there for soccer games and school plays and Wednesday dinners, but I can't do that and run a billion-dollar company." "Dad, are you sure?" "Very sure. The board approved my succession plan. Marcus Chen is taking over. He's ready, the company's ready, and I'm ready to live differently." Ryan spoke up. "What will you do with all your time?" "I was hoping you'd help me figure that out. I've been thinking about the community centers, about expanding the model, taking it national, but I can't do it alone. I need someone who understands the mission, who lives it." He looked at Hannah. "I need you, as partner, not employee. Partner. We build this together, equal say, equal control, your vision, my resources. What do you think?" Hannah stared at her father. "You want to work with me?" "I want to work for something that matters, and you've shown me what that looks like. So yes, if you'll have me." "Dad?" "I don't know what to say." "Say you'll think about it. That's all I ask." They talked for hours about the possibilities, about scaling the model, about reaching communities across the country, about turning one man's cruelty into a national movement for dignity and education. Driving home, Hannah was quiet again, different quiet, processing something big. "What are you thinking?" Ryan asked. "I'm thinking my father is finally becoming the man I always needed him to be. And it's because of you. Because you showed him what real strength looks like." "I didn't do anything." "You did everything. You stood up. You showed up. You loved me without trying to change me or fix me or control me. And he saw that, learned from it. You saved him too, Ryan. Just like you saved me." Ryan pulled over, right there on the side of the road, turned to his wife. "I love you. So much it scares me sometimes." Good scared or bad scared? Best scared. The kind that makes you grateful every single day. July brought Jerry Morrison's sentencing. Ryan didn't go to the trial. Didn't need to see the man again. But Monica Chen called with the verdict. 8 years. Federal prison. Restitution to victims. He tried to play it off as mistakes. But the evidence was overwhelming. He stole from hundreds of people. Mostly elderly. Mostly poor. People who trusted him. "Good," Ryan said. "People deserve justice. They got it. Because of you. Because you refused to stay quiet. That matters, Ryan. You changed this town." After hanging up, Ryan told Hannah. She nodded slowly. 8 years. Seems light for what he did. Maybe. But it's something. And the center exists because he got exposed. So his cruelty became our opportunity to do good. That's its own justice. August marked Sarah's first birthday. They threw a party at the house. Everyone came. Richard, Tyler and his family. Maria from the center. Monica Chen. Half the neighborhood. People whose lives had been touched by what started as one man defending a stranger. Sarah smashed cake into her face. Daisy helped her open presents. Richard got on the floor and played with both girls. Laughed. Actually laughed. "Your father's a different person," Ryan told Hannah later. "Retirement looks good on him. He's lighter, happier, present. Think you'll do it partner with him on the national expansion?" Hannah had been wrestling with the decision all summer. "I think so. Maria can run the local operations. I can focus on curriculum and expansion. And working with Dad, healing that relationship completely. It feels right." "Then do it." "You're okay with it?" "It'll mean travel sometimes, late nights, big responsibilities." "I'm okay with whatever makes you happy. We'll figure out the logistics. We always do." Hannah told Richard yes in September. They started planning immediately. Identified 10 cities for pilot programs, secured funding, built curriculum, hired staff. By October, the first 3 centers opened: Chicago, Atlanta, Phoenix. Each one modeled after the original. Each one transforming ugliness into hope. Ryan kept working construction. Refused to let wealth change his identity. Came home tired and dirty and happy. Hannah loved him more for it. "You could stop working," she reminded him occasionally. "We have more money than we'll ever need. I like what I do. Like building things with my hands. Like the guys I work with. Don't want to lose that." "Okay, but the offer stands, if you change your mind." "I won't, but thank you." November came again. 2 years since Morrison's. 2 years since everything changed. The anniversary felt significant. Heavy with meaning. Monica Chen called. "I'm doing a follow-up piece. 2 years later. Where are they now? Want to participate?" Ryan hesitated. He hated being on camera. Hated attention. But Hannah squeezed his hand. Nodded. "Okay, yeah. We'll do it." The interview happened at the community center. The original one, where Morrison's had stood. Monica asked questions. Ryan answered honestly. "Do you ever think about that day? About what would have happened if you'd stayed silent?" "All the time, but not with regret. With gratitude. Because staying silent would have been easier. But it wouldn't have been right. And everything good in my life came from choosing what was right over what was easy." What do you want people to take from your story? Ryan thought carefully. That one moment can change everything. That standing up matters. That kindness ripples outward in ways you can't imagine. And that broken things can heal. Not the way they were, but into something new. Something better. Hannah didn't get her legs back, but she got purpose, family, joy. Sometimes what we think is the worst thing becomes the doorway to the best thing, if we're brave enough to walk through it. The segment aired 2 days later. Went viral within hours. Millions of views. Thousands of comments. People sharing their own stories of standing up, of second chances, of kindness changing lives. Ryan's phone exploded. Interview requests, speaking invitations, offers for book deals and movie rights. He ignored all of it. "You could do a lot of good with that platform," Hannah said gently. "I am doing good, right here, with you and the girls and this life. I don't need to be famous, just need to be present." "Okay. I just wanted you to know the option exists." "I know, and I'm choosing this, choosing us. Is that enough?" Hannah kissed him. "It's everything." Thanksgiving found them at Richard's house. The big table finally full. Ryan and Hannah, Daisy and Sarah, Tyler and his parents, Maria and her family, Monica Chen and her wife. People connected by one moment of courage. Richard stood to make a toast. "2 years ago, my daughter was accused of theft by a small-minded man, and a stranger stood up for her. That moment created ripples, changed lives, built something beautiful. Today we have 17 community centers across 12 states. We've served over 20,000 people, taught thousands to read, helped hundreds find jobs, changed communities, and it all started because one man couldn't walk away from injustice." He raised his glass toward Ryan. "Thank you for seeing my daughter, for loving her, for showing this old fool what really matters, to Ryan, and to kindness." "To Ryan," everyone echoed. Ryan felt his face burn. "I didn't do anything special, just what anyone should do. But most people don't," Richard said. "That's what makes it special." After dinner, Ryan found himself alone with Tyler in the game room. The boy was 17 now, tall, confident, college scouts watching him constantly. "Can I tell you something?" Tyler asked. "Anything. I used to feel guilty, that Mrs. Hannah can't walk because of me. Used to keep me up at night. But then I realized something. She doesn't regret it, not for a second. She'd do it again. And that's because she's the kind of person who saves people. It's who she is. The accident didn't make her that way. It revealed it." Tyler paused. "I'm trying to be that kind of person too. Someone who saves others. I'm studying to be a paramedic. After soccer if that doesn't work out. Because of her. Because she showed me what real courage looks like." Ryan's throat tightened. "She'll be so proud when you tell her." "I know. That's why I wanted to tell you first, to say thank you, for taking care of her, for making her happy, for being the kind of man who stands up. You changed my life too, Mr. Walker. Just as much as she did." That night, driving home with his sleeping daughters in the back and his wife's hand in his, Ryan felt complete, full, grateful beyond words. "What are you thinking?" Hannah asked softly. "That I'm the luckiest man alive. That I get to spend every day with you. Build this life with you. Watch our girls grow up. Watch the centers change communities. Watch your relationship with your father heal. It's more than I ever dreamed possible. We're just getting started. Wait until we have 3 or 4 kids." Ryan laughed. 3 or 4. "I told you, I want a big family. Unless you're done." "I'm not done, not even close. Let's have a whole bunch of kids. Fill this house with noise and chaos and love." "Deal." December brought snow, rare in their part of the country. The girls were enchanted. Daisy built a snowman with Sarah's help. Tiny hands patting snow. Richard came over and taught them to make snow angels. Ryan watched from the window, his father-in-law lying in the snow making angels with his granddaughters. The man who'd once measured everything in money and power, now measuring his life in moments like this. Hannah wheeled up beside him. "Never thought I'd see my dad do snow angels." "People change. Because of you. Because of us. We all changed each other. That's what love does." On Christmas morning, Daisy came downstairs first, found presents under the tree, squealed, woke everyone up. They opened gifts slowly, savored it. Richard had gone overboard as usual, but also included handmade things. A photo album of the past 2 years. Pictures of the wedding, Sarah's birth, center openings, family dinners, moments captured and preserved. "This is beautiful, Dad," Hannah said, tears streaming. "Your mother used to make these. Every year. I stopped after she died. But I'm starting again, for the girls. So they know where they came from. Who loves them. What matters." Sarah toddled over, climbed into Richard's lap, said her favorite word. "Papa." Richard's face crumpled. "That's right, sweetheart. Papa's here. Papa's always here now." Ryan caught Hannah's eye. Mouthed, "He's okay." She nodded. Mouthed back, "We all are." That afternoon they drove to the community center. The original one. They did this sometimes. Walked the halls. Remembered where it started. Who they'd been. Who they'd become. Today the center was closed for the holiday. But they had keys. Went inside. The silence felt sacred. "This was aisle 7, Ryan said, standing in what used to be the grocery store. "Where I first saw Jerry accusing you." "This was where I sat," Hannah said, trying to stay calm, trying not to let him break me. "This was where I decided to speak up. Right here. This exact spot." They stood together, remembering, honoring that moment. "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you hadn't?" Hannah asked. "If you'd just bought your milk and bread and left every day, but not with regret, with awe, at how one choice ripples outward, at how we never know what the moment we're in will become. I love you, Ryan Walker, for that choice, for every choice since, for being exactly who you are. I love you, Hannah Walker, for teaching me that broken doesn't mean finished, that loss can become gain, that courage is showing up even when you're scared." They kissed in the center of what used to be a grocery store and was now a place of healing, where ugliness had transformed into grace, where one man's cruelty had become a community's compassion. Outside, snow continued falling. Soft, gentle, covering everything in white. New beginnings. Clean slates. Second chances made visible. On the drive home, Sarah fell asleep. Daisy chattered about snow and presents and how Papa was the best at snow angels. Hannah held Ryan's hand. The ring on her finger caught the light. Simple gold. 53 years of love. Now theirs. "What do you think?" Hannah asked suddenly. "When people hear our story years from now, what do you think they'll take from it?" Ryan considered. "That standing up matters. That one person can make a difference. That kindness compounds. That love heals. That second chances are real if we're brave enough to take them." "That's good. But I think there's something else too." "What?" "That we don't have to be perfect to do good things. You're a construction worker who barely graduated high school. I'm a disabled former teacher. We're not special, not heroes, just regular people who chose kindness when it mattered. And that's the point. Anyone can do what we did. Anyone can stand up. Anyone can show up. Anyone can choose love over fear. That's the real story. Not that we're exceptional, but that we're ordinary. And ordinary people can change the world." Ryan squeezed her hand. "When did you get so wise?" "I married a wise man. It rubbed off." They pulled into the driveway. Their house. Warm lights in windows. Home waiting. Ryan carried Sarah inside. Hannah took Daisy's hand. They moved through the door together. Family. Whole. Complete. That night, after the girls were asleep, Ryan and Hannah sat on the couch. Tree lights glowing. Fire crackling. Silent night outside. "Promise me something," Hannah said. "Hannah, anything. Promise me we'll always remember where we came from. That grocery store, that moment, that choice, because that's what made us. And I never want to forget. I promise. Every November we'll go back. Stand in that spot. Remember. Honor it. Pass the story to our kids so they understand that courage is a choice we make every single day." And if they ask what the secret is to a good life. Ryan thought about Jerry Morrison in prison, about the community center thriving, about Tyler playing soccer, about Richard becoming the father Hannah needed, about Daisy reading above grade level, about Sarah learning to walk, about 17 centers changing lives, about love compounding and kindness, rippling and broken things, healing into something more beautiful than they'd been before. I'll tell them the truth, that there's no secret. Just show up, stand up, don't look away when you see wrong. Love people where they are, and trust that small moments of courage can become lifetimes of grace. Hannah rested her head on his shoulder. That's perfect. They sat in the quiet, the house settling around them. Two people who'd been lost and found each other, who'd been broken and healed together, who'd taken one moment of standing up and built an entire life from it. Outside, snow fell on the new truck in the driveway, on the house they were filling with children, on the town that had rallied around them, on the world that kept spinning forward carrying their story with it. And somewhere in another town, in another moment, another person stood at a crossroads, witnessed something wrong, felt that choice crystallizing. Walk away or speak up. Do nothing or do something. Ryan hoped they'd speak up, hoped they'd choose courage, hoped they'd discover what he'd learned in a grocery store on a November afternoon, that the hardest choices become the best choices, that standing up for strangers can mean standing up for yourself, that doing the right thing is never easy but always worth it. That love, real love, comes from seeing people, not what they have or what they've lost, but who they are in the quiet moments, in the hard moments, in the moments when no one's watching, and that sometimes the richest people are those who choose to stand not above others but beside them. In grocery stores and therapy centers and living rooms and all the sacred ordinary spaces where life actually happens. Hannah's breathing evened out, asleep on his shoulder. Ryan held her gently, grateful, humbled, whole. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new moments requiring courage, new chances to choose kindness. But tonight, Ryan Walker sat in his living room with his wife asleep beside him, and his daughters safe in their beds, and his father-in-law transformed by love, and his life full of purpose and meaning and grace. And he knew bone deep that speaking up in that grocery store was the best decision he'd ever made. Not because it led to wealth or recognition or any kind of external reward, but because it led here, to this moment, this family, this love, to the beautiful, messy, imperfect, extraordinary life that begins when you decide that standing up matters more than staying comfortable. When you choose to see people, all people, in all their dignity and struggle and worth. When you refuse to look away. The snow continued falling outside, covering everything, making the world new, and Ryan Walker, holding his sleeping wife, surrounded by the life they'd built from one moment of courage, finally closed his eyes and rested. Home.